Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in to the MPCA Dream Team Hangout number 14. Number 14. Wow. It's gone so quick. Time flies when you're having fun. And my name's Angie Gavin. I'm Aussie. I'm living in Thailand. Been living here since April 2016. And it's been a fantastic journey, and obviously from MPA to now MPCA. So we're going to go to the panel as usual, and we're going to welcome our I guess our regulars, our regulars, but anyone's welcome to come on that is in our group. And obviously, if you want to come on outside the group, well, hit me up, and we can talk about that. But guys, welcome to the Hangout. So let's go from right to left, or probably left to right. Ralph, welcome to the Hangout. Thanks for jumping on board. How's your day been today?
Oh, actually, it was a really calm day, and so I did some work on online. Just want to mention that, by the way, thanks to Logan, I watched his webinar about RevShare, and I had the idea to translate it into German because it's my native language. And actually, today I finished it, and now I'm going to make a video about it. So, yeah.
Wunderbar. Gavin, I don't know if you're speaking. We can't hear you. Try again. Unmute, and if not, I'll take over. All right. Well, I guess I'll go next. My name is Logan. You probably know I'm on most of these. I think Gavin just jumped off the webinar, and hopefully he'll be back. We are all here in Gavin's team, but like he said, we do accept people from outside. If you have some good stories, good results to share, this is a great way to be exposed. I've been in RevShares for, I don't know, I think it's nearing a year and a half now almost. Yeah. That's when I joined the MPA, and now MPCA from day one. Where are we? I didn't look at the days. Probably a little over 100 days, and yeah, we'll talk more. There's plenty more to talk about. So yeah, that's me. Who's gonna go next? Grandpa?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting. I think Casey and I were chatting away the other night. It was time for Casey to go to bed, and his wife's going like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" "Dennis." "Who the heck's Dennis?" "Grandpa." "Oh, Grandpa." So it's fun. It's something I cannot escape from, and I love it. Anyway, I've been in Japan for about 4 decades. Got 3 grandkids over here. Put together a really big organic garden. Was able to sell a lot of my organic vegetables. I earned up to 1.5 Bitcoin. And I started my MPCA online RevShare using that money from the sale of those organic vegetables. Added more funds since then. I've got 2.5 in altogether. And I've earned back over 5 Bitcoin, double. So my wife's completely quiet about what I'm doing now.
All right. Sorry. Casey, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Grandpa's story is completely true. I'm laying in bed and trying to explain to my wife who I'm talking to, and she didn't understand who it was until I said Grandpa, and she knew exactly who it was. So that was quite hilarious to me. Casey Watkins. I've been doing this for about 3 months now, 100 days. I think that's where we're at in MPCA. So growing, my account's growing slowly and steady. A couple weeks ago, I lost like 40 packs due to the bulk buy I did. And yesterday, I got it back up to where it was when I lost the 40. So I'm excited. Good things are coming.
You there, guys? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thanks for chiming in. Sorry, guys, my mic jumps out. So yeah, Guys, just we do the normal thing. I'm just going to go quickly through the stats. I mean, the company is growing massively. Might actually just quickly touch on the stats of each individual person if you want to disclose that. But first of all, what I want to talk about is, I mean, it's just been an amazing 3+ months, and we're at 54,913 total members. There's 868 online now. The Alexa rank is always dropping, and it's absolutely crazy. And over 3,696 Bitcoin paid out, and the current Bitcoin price is, like, I mean, last time I looked, it was 6,055 right now, right? So that's fluctuating a bit, but the growth of the company has just been absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very happy so far in such a short time. So, guys, we might even just do a quick round robin of your stats and what you learned this week. Ralph, what's your stats, if you do want to say, or if not, what have you learned this week with MPCA?
Yes, of course I can share, no problem. Actually, today I maxed out the Apex number 3. So I bought the last 3 ones. So, but I'm around 250 because number 2 is expiring, and I'm not repurchasing them in the next couple of days. And my plan is to come to 300 Apex around 5th or 6th of March.
Fantastic. That's great. Yeah, and for those...
Yeah, what I learned... sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ralph.
What I learned this week is, again, when you want to learn something, you have to teach it. We say it in German. And so by making this video and this webinar in German, I learned a lot about rev shares again. So this is quite interesting. If you try to teach something, you get more experience and you learn even more. So it was a really nice experience.
Yeah, definitely. If you go back and watch your videos, that you actually watch yourself doing videos, you pick up a lot. You actually learn a lot of things on stuff that, when I first started, I was like, always had my hand over my mouth and twitching and all these things and saying, but once you look at it, you actually learn from yourself. And even going in German, like, saying, sprechen die Deutsch, and then you transfer that over, you can hit another audience. So that's very interesting. Always learning something from Ralph, and we're all learning something from everyone else, which is why we're here. It's all about the journey as well. So Logan, thanks for that, Ralph. So Logan, how are you going? Look, I know where you at, but I mean, just in case other people don't know, how are you going with it? Your stats, if you want to say.
Yeah, sure. Doing well. I'm at about 520. I've been withdrawing for the past 8 days. Today I completed the 2 Bitcoin that I wanted to withdraw. So I was taking a quarter Bitcoin every day. I don't want to withdraw too much too quickly, So I'm just like, I'm in no hurry. I actually just wanted to pay for my trip to Singapore. So, I was taking little tiny chunks. And well, one thing that Ralph mentioned is I made this, based on what we talked about last week. It inspired me to create this spreadsheet where I was kind of running a comparison of the ratio for withdrawals versus, your money spent. Because people are still asking, they're still afraid of that ratio, 2 times, 3 times. We talk about it every time. It's really not a big issue. You don't get there very quickly, but I created a spreadsheet so you can enter all your purchases with fresh money and then all your withdrawals, and it kind of shows you what happens. And I have a video on a spreadsheet that you can grab right under the video. There's a link. The interesting thing about it was what you mentioned, is that it also calculates my average Bitcoin price at the time of purchase and at the time of withdrawal. And I'm happy to report that my average price of my 6 purchases is $773 per Bitcoin, which, as you just mentioned, is about $1,060 right now. And my average withdrawal price was about $1,020. So this is a $250 difference from the original price, which if it was about 750, that means it's almost 30% more gain just in Bitcoin value over the 3 months that passed between my initial purchases, excuse me, and my withdrawal, which is mind-blowing. And this was the first thing that attracted me to MPCA, because it's like, I know Bitcoin is going to go up, so whatever you build, as long as Bitcoin goes up, it's going to magnify by many points. And this is exactly what happened, even in the short term. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it's basically like not just compounding within the system, but we shouldn't use compounding, but increasing in value, like, you're getting your return back. But the price of Bitcoin and then everything else goes up with it. Like, so you might be getting 20% back, but I mean, by the time you look at the Bitcoin price, you're getting way more than that, and then it's times of that. Yeah. So I think that's I think we might have to make a webinar just on that, because I don't think a lot of people get that exact point what you said, because we're all used to fiat currencies. So, I'm still learning it as well, but I know that the price of Bitcoin goes up, everything in your account goes up, right? And when you got 520 packs, it makes a difference. So, it's been great to see your growth as well. And how many referrals do you have? You've got a lot now, haven't you, Logan?
Yeah, I think the total number is 187. I created a sheet also for that. I every day I update it. I add the last people that were missing. I add them to my mailing list, and then I have a spreadsheet where I also removed. There were some duplicates. I had one that I created a test account while I was doing a video. One guy created 3 accounts. Another guy created 2. One guy said he's not going to do anything, so I'm just ignoring him. So once I deducted those and I separated the paid ones, I marked them. I also have a spreadsheet now, if anybody needs it, that gives me the percentage of actual active people, paid members versus the total of members. And it's, again, like I said last time, it's almost 40%. It's like 39%. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah, very good number.
Yeah. I'm not the, I guess, what do you want to call it?
As anal about it as I am.
Yes, but I do run numbers, and from limited knowledge that I have with Excel, what I actually do is I go into the my earnings history, and then go into the tab which says commissions, right? And then I pull that information out, and then I put it into a notepad. I get rid of the Bitcoin and the BTC at the end. Then I put it into another spreadsheet, and then I pull that into this other spreadsheet I have. So then what I can figure out is my exact commissions that I get daily, and I can track that. And every time that people buy packs, it goes up. It fluctuates, but it goes up. So I know exactly like the numbers, but just not. So look, there's heaps of ways to do it. It's just how involved you want to get with the business. If you're into numbers, then you'll love this, but you don't have to be into numbers. Just use Logan's calculator, like.
That's true. I mean, for me, this is more about, this is my, members. This is my team, basically. So that's really what that spreadsheet is about, just so this way I have a separate mailing list. They're all in the same mailing list, but then I tag them. I have a get response account, and there's a tag option, and I just tag all the paid people. Every once in a while I check. So this way I can send a separate email to paid members, or I can send an incentive to people who haven't started yet. For commissions, I don't do that. I started just leaving commissions, and then I let it, kind of add up, and then I plan to just withdraw when I hit whatever, half a Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin. So, I don't want to spend too much time on that. But yeah, you can, data is there, so you can definitely do whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you start sort of seeing half a Bitcoin a day, just in referral commissions, not including the ad pack commission, you get excited over it. So the potential is there. So thanks Logan for giving us a rundown. You're the XML guru when it comes to anything like that. I always see you. I'm like, hey bro, have you got a calculator? So you should start charging people, Logan. So thanks, Logan. So a guy that doesn't, well, we've already done introductions, sorry, when I was away. Dennis, how are you going with MPCA? If you want to disclose your numbers, that's up to you. What have you learned this week for all you folks out of Japan?
Right. Well, I've got 3 less packs than Ralph. Okay, so that makes it 247. Filled up level 1, filled up level 2, and have those 47 on the 3rd level, right? And somebody's new watching this, don't get confused with what we're saying about levels, etc. Basically, you just round it off to 247 packs. Now, the calculator, I'm not a numbers guy. Okay, I'm a people type person, but hey, guess what? When my wife looks over my shoulder and she wants to know what the hell's going on, I whip out Logan's calculator and say, right here, baby, that's what's happening. Okay, I leave you alone. Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Logan. Safe. Yeah, they love the numbers. And what I learned this week was we had all the Japanese team together, and we were going to make blogs in Japanese. And then what we discovered was we need 2 blogs. One blog is for basic Bitcoin information. So when I'm out having something to eat, I'll pay with my Bitcoin debit card, and I'll say, oh, thank you for accepting Bitcoin as payment. And they go, what? Yeah, you just accepted Bitcoin as payment for this meal. Thank you. And they go, wow, what's going on with that? And then we just hand them like a little name card. It's got the blog on it and our email address, and say, well, you go here. It's real basic information. Anybody can follow it. Just go take a look. Then they come over there, and then the people that get running with us, we got 2 or 3 that are running with us now, they go, I need more information. Okay, well, here's the second blog, which is just Bitcoin news in Japanese. Like the banks, man, they're going Ripple, they're going to go Bitcoin, they're going to cryptocurrencies. Man, Japan is down with cryptocurrencies now, man. So they like seeing that. It boosts their confidence. And then we help them more back to the basic. These blogs link back and forth to each other. So we help them get started with Bitcoin. We help them get their Bitcoin wallet set up. We help them get a Bitcoin debit card. And then we introduce them to, guess what? MPCA.
MPCA.
That's it for Grandpa.
Okay, thanks for that, Grandpa. Thank you for your input. All right, so mate, we're gonna, and it's always good, always good to keep your wife happy. So, Logan, like I said, start charging, bro. So, Casey, we're gonna go on to Casey. How are you, Casey? And what's how is your progress, if you want to say, and also what's your what do you learn this week with MPCA?
Doing pretty good. I'm currently at 130 ad packs, so not as high as these other guys, but we are moving up. Here's what I learned this week. I've been a entrepreneur, small business owner for, we'll go 7, 8 years. This last week I actually worked almost 40 hours at a regular type job, delivering packages for Amazon, and I forgot how physically exhausting it is to not do what you love. So I'm doing that to raise extra funds to put into my paying crypto ads.
Cool.
So I'll get an extra $700 US dollars to put into the system. So I'm excited about it. Took a lot of work to do it, but we're probably going to try to do it again this week. I want to get up to the 500-600 pack mark pretty quickly. So I'm doing whatever I can to make it there.
Yeah, awesome, man. And that's exactly that. You're right. That's what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do now, so then you can enjoy the benefits later. And I totally get that, because that's what happens. You got to grind now, and every single bit helps, right? You're gonna look back and go, wow, that extra, $100, $200 that I put in consistently, like, whenever you can, it's gonna make a massive difference, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So we might even talk a little bit about that later on, how it's sort of changed your life. Look, Logan had a really good sort of, what we do on these hangouts is we sort of, if someone wants to talk about a particular subject, then we roll with it, right? Because we want to talk about what's right, at the forefront of everyone's ears in this program right now. And one of them that Logan suggested was, how has it changed your life? You know, so I might quickly start. I mean, obviously you guys, I'm not going to get right into it, but I started with MPA and then I've progressed on to MPCA. I've maxed that MPA already, and now I'm maxed. I'm at 1,115 ad packs in MPCA. So it's definitely changed my life. This whole program, you know, that were created by Uday Naro has absolutely changed my life. Like you wouldn't believe, and it's allowed me to move here to Thailand. So obviously this is my story. You know, not everyone has to come to Thailand, but for me, it's been fantastic. Everything has just been like huge for me. And I saw a post that was on my Facebook wall, just to give you an idea. I did a post, you know, when the yearly thing comes up with the posts, and I had this post of when I was at this Vietnamese restaurant that I used to go to when I was still in my day job, when I was still in Australia, and it pops up and it says a year ago, right? So it gives you a flashback. And just to give you an impact of how that is, this MPA and MPCA has changed my life. I saw this post and it's got the Vietnamese, they eat what they call pho or pho. It's PHO, right? It's this national dish. So it popped up and I'm like, I remember eating that pho at the restaurant around the corner from my place in Australia, right? And 1 year now, Facebook has reminded me. Since then, right, I've moved to Thailand. I've left my job. I've now got a full-time. The main income that I've been able to generate now is ridiculous. But now I moved to Thailand, and I've actually been to Vietnam already. And I had the, you know, I don't know if you want to call it authentic pho. It's all the same stuff. But I had pho in Hanoi, right? And this has been 1 year from this complete change, just because, you know, I took massive action. And I guess that basically sums up my experience, and that just flashed up in my inbox today, and I was just like, wow. When you think of it that way, it's been a massive journey for myself. And every single person on this panel has a different experience. You don't have to do what I do, right? But if it changes your life, right, and you can do what you want to do and chase your passions instead of, you know, reporting to a 9 to 5, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you don't want to do that, you can break free from it, right? So that's what it's done for me personally, and I'm very, very, very happy. It's changed. It's completely changed me. You will not believe. So I'm very happy. So I'm looking forward to going to meeting all the people in Singapore, meeting Uday, give him a big hug, and I just, yeah. Right now, I don't want to get emotional, but it's like it's. If I could describe, there's no words I can describe. Like literally, you guys know my story and you've seen it, but there's nothing I can physically, you know, until I was like, if I was to see you in person, I'd give you a big hug, and I was like, dude, this is how it is. You'd see the emotion on my face, and I want everyone to experience that, right? So that's my story. Logan, sorry, when I go to Ralph. Ralph has got a similar story as well. You're in Thailand, Ralph, yeah? Or
yes, I live in Thailand.
How is MPCA changing your life?
Oh, I actually can say that the online business itself is changing my life, because it's just, sometimes you read about this laptop lifestyle, you know, and just earning money 24 hours, 7 days a week, and just relaxing and living in a beautiful sort of surrounding and enjoying life. So I started it already 2 years ago. I left Germany in very, very bad circumstances. I was broke. I was in not good state physically and mentally. So I really saw that I was at the point I had to make a big step out of and leave everything behind. And there was this, I would say, I lost this calling inside of me, and I had this feeling, I have to do this. I have to leave the country. I have to make a new start. And for some reason, coincidentally, it was Thailand. So because I got an invitation by a friend and he said, just come to Thailand and you will love it. And I had no clue about Thailand, no idea. And yeah, so this was my journey, and I left everything behind. I said goodbye to Germany, and I'm going there for holidays nowadays, but now yeah, and as you know, I have found a lovely girl, and we are in a relationship right now, and I had this feeling now my power is back, and I feel good to do something and to start something new, start business. And I was drawn to online business, and I love MPCA because I love the combination of earning money through a rev share, and on the other hand, yeah, seeing how the Bitcoin is improving every day. And actually, I watched some videos over the weekend, and you can get really crazy when you see all the bullish people talking about Bitcoin $20,000 in 2 or 3 years, $60,000. I read. I had the comment of one entrepreneur who says, I see one Bitcoin 1 million in 10 or 15 years. So, and when you think for, I don't know what it is in your countries, but in Germany you have to work around 40 years to get a pension. And right now the pension, the average pension in Germany is about 1,500 euro. So, and when you see you can work here 2 or 3 years, and I'm not talking about big numbers, you know, I'm not going there, but definitely, I'm totally convinced that Bitcoin is only going up, up, up. So you can make, let's say in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, more than you can do in Germany or working for 40 years. And by the way, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Ralph. And you know what? You guys don't have to come to Thailand. You don't have to. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to stay if you want to. There's plenty of other places too. We're talking, you know, Philippines. We're talking Mexico. We're talking Panama. There's so many different places. Bali, wherever you want to go, right? It's just and what you said about leaving and then starting fresh, right? That's exactly what I did, and it makes it's for some reason it's sometimes I personally needed that shift, and it does make a huge difference in your life once you make that shift. Not everyone has to come to Thailand. Don't come to me. I had one guy say to me, "Hey, I want to come and live with you." Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. So thanks, Ralph, and Logan. Obviously, everyone's story is different. Like again, you know, well, I know it's affecting your life, you know, in a massive way. What's your take on it? How's it improving your life?
Well, I'll tell you in terms of past, present, and future, kind of, you know, because when I first, well, let me put it this way. 3 years ago, again, Thailand. I went 3 summers ago. I went to Thailand. We spent a month there, and you know, loved it. Currently, my favorite place. I would totally move there tomorrow if, you know, if I could rid my wife of her job. As soon as we can do that, we'll probably do that. I'm trying to talk her into it. You know, at least temporarily. Go there for 6 months, whatever. I love Thailand. I love the food. It's amazing. We're going to go to Vietnam this summer because I want to have the authentic pho. 2 summers ago, we went to the U.S. and Mexico, and last summer we went to Bali, Indonesia, and to Malaysia. And what I didn't realize there is that there is no street food like there is in Thailand. In Thailand, we constantly ate street food. You know, yeah, it was cheap. We didn't have that much money, but it was great. It was awesome, and we loved it. Well, you know, it was like, wow, you're eating hot soup in you know, on crazy temperature. It's like 35, 40 degrees, and you're eating hot, you know, hot and spicy soup. And we just loved that. And we got totally hooked on good street food. But Bali doesn't have that. You know, they have these little restaurants that, you know, let me not get into that. But the point was, you kind of had to sit in a restaurant to eat. And basically, we ended up needing more money than we planned. Luckily, now this isn't MPA, but we're talking about general online income kind of. I was able to get enough money from this, you know, 1 or 2 programs that I had running at the time during the summer that I was able to make up for the difference, and we had a perfectly fine summer. We didn't run out of money, you know. It would have been close, you know. We would have probably made it, but it would have been like too close for comfort. So that was in the past. So it totally saved our butts last summer in Bali and on Gili, where we were. And then for the present, I already mentioned, you know, I just like, you know, I want to go to Singapore. Yeah, Singapore's kind of expensive. It's a pricey hotel. Let me look at the price of the ticket. Well, I'm like, you know what? I'll just have MPA and MPCA pay for it. So I withdrew some money from MPA. I withdrew some money from MPCA. My wife can't really complain about it because I'm like, hey, you know, it's like I got to promote. They're paying for it effectively. So that's my present. And also the future, which is also kind of in the present. I mean, as you know, clearly we're, you know, we don't have that much to talk about. There is no drama. That's the beautiful thing about our Hangouts, as Grandpa mentioned before we went live. And about MPA and MPCA, there's no drama going on. It's wonderful. Now, not all programs are going to be like that. I am currently in some really crazy drama. I got a little too involved with something that didn't go well. Thank God I have MPA and MPCA because, you know, you have your eggs in different baskets and they are covering my expenses right now. And also what they're going to do for me for the future is tomorrow I'm going to sit down with some local guys and go for a trading course. I want to have more control. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to start trading my own money, you know, kind of writing your own check. I will take then money from MPCA and I will use it as my equity, and I'll be able to trade online and trade for me. You know, there'll be a group of us suggesting things to each other. So it's going to bring me to a completely different level where, you know, maybe in 10 years I'll be this, you know, I'll have $1 million equity and I'll be able to work for half hour a day, you know, because I can draw from a stable program like this. And if Bitcoin goes way up, well, you know, the more money I will make. So it's really huge, you know, what it's doing for me. And not to mention that, you know, I quit my freelance work about, previous January. So a little over a year ago, I quit working and I've just been focused on online work. And this allows me, you know, to travel. Like next week, you know, next Hangout, I'm going to be in Belgrade in Serbia, and I'll be on my laptop because I can, you know, we can go. My wife has to go and I'll just go with her, because I don't have a job to be at. So, you know, huge. This is huge, and it's just going to get better.
Yeah. Look, one of the things, I mean, if you can take your family with you, that's awesome. Even if you're single, just like you said, online income opens a massive opportunity, because all of a sudden now you're not thinking about, you know, I got to get up Monday morning and go to the job. Forget that, right? That's taken care of. Now you're thinking, you know, where can I want to travel? And Logan, you're going to Singapore. We'll meet you in Singapore. My girlfriend and I are going to Singapore, and then we're going to Malaysia, and then we're going to go to Bali. So the opportunities of just, you know, focusing on the one thing, get that building up to a stable income, then you can then pull that and go into other things, keep growing, learning and stuff. But you got that, you know, you got that base there to feed you every day. And that's what I love about MPA. MPCA, awesome programs. Yeah, interesting. Thanks, Logan. Dennis, what, mate? I know it's changed your life dramatically. You know, your wife absolutely loves it. But how? What's it? Can you share a little bit about how it's affected your life?
Well, sure. You know, like when I was growing up, my mother's French, so she claimed that I was an expert at faux. But the faux I was an expert in was faux pas, okay, which is a different kind of faux, I'm sure, than what we're talking about here tonight or today.
Yep.
But yeah, I got you know, over to Japan, and I did quite well in my youth, right? And then as I got older, I decided, well, I'm less employable, so I better start my own consultancy, and I did that. And built it up pretty good. And then Fukushima came around and put a big old stop to everything I built up over 30 years, right? All my clients left, all my staff left. Then my wife said, you got to go out and get a job. Okay, so I walked in some interviews with this white beard and this white hair, and they just put their pencil down and went, not even. Not even.
Yeah.
I don't care what you knew before. It's not marketable now. All right. So I said, well, how am I going to earn the money? So we decided to reverse engineer. You know, all our rich expat friends were eating organic food. So we decided, what the hell? Let's grow our own organic food. Right. So we started doing that. It got pretty good. We could start selling it. Like I said earlier, we sold some of our sweet potatoes and got 1.5 Bitcoin, got this thing going. Then my wife realized, well, okay, this is what we're going to do, right? We put our heads down, both of us, and, you know, got locked in on MPCA. And when I say locked in, I mean locked in. And I get everybody, they'll send me a private message. What do you think about this launch? Not a fucking, oh, sorry. Sorry. I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass. Right. So I'm just completely down with MPCA. My wife is down with it. The Japanese people are down with it. And like I said, we're developing blogs. We're moving in that direction. And, you know, when people say, well, you know, how long is it going to last? I said, how long am I going to last is the question. Not how long is MPCA going to last. I'm not concerned about that at all.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, like you said, my wife loves it. I love it. And, you know, we're 100% focused on this.
Yep. Yeah. No, we should get Logan to send you the same, you know, with the crystal ball thing with the, I mean, you know, sometimes like we don't know. There's no guarantees. Like, you know, we just go with a really good company, a really good owner, and we do the best we can. And so far through history over the last 2 years, that has proven to be correct, right? And that's all. No one has a crystal ball, right? We just go in with everyone has their own risk, and that's all we can do, really, you know. But if anyone does, you know, figure out how to make a time machine or a crystal ball work, please let me know. I'd love to know. So thanks for that, Dennis. So we're going to Casey. Casey, how is MPCA or just online biz in general, how is that affect your life? Or I know it's going to affect your life a lot in the next sort of 12 months. It's going to change everything for you, but you're still in the grind, right? So how's it going with you?
Well, okay. I guess let me start in the past, and then I'll kind of tell you why I'm doing MPCA. So in the past, like 3-4 years ago, I was actually making really, really good money, even compared to American standards. I had a business partner. We had a company together, and him and I just basically had a falling out and kind of went our own ways. When that happened, I basically just stepped away and walked away from a lot of money. And I have a wife and 3 kids, and they take a lot of money to make happy. So we went from a 7-bedroom, 4,000 square foot house to living back in my parents' house within about a month and a half. So, wow. Yeah, we went under drastic changes in our life, and I built up my own online company doing what I do, websites and stuff like that. So I built up my own client base and started doing that. So the whole purpose of me doing MPCA is to get different streams of income, and I'm not just relying on either clients or somebody else for money. I want to have money coming in from different places. So if one goes away, I still got the other one, or another 3 or 4 giving me money. So that's my whole purpose of it. And I know MPCA is going to change my life. I've already been telling the wife all the plans I'm going to do at Christmas when I'm pulling out. a Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoins a day. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and 12 months in rev shares is definitely a long time. I mean, a lot happens. Even 3 months, a lot happens. So yeah, you just got to keep going, man. Just keep going. It took me only, well, I say after the restart of MPA, 10 months, but obviously before that, you know, you're talking about maybe 18 months. But once you build the first income stream up, right, and get it going, then the rest is it's a lot easier. Like you hear people say, oh, the hardest millions, your first million is going to be the hardest, right? But then after your second, third, and fourth, well, it's you're just repeating what you did on the first. Once you have money, it's easier to make more money, right? But it's the first one getting that going, right? So that's the key to it. And in my personal opinion, I think MPCA is the best, right? I love MPA. I'm not trying to, I'm just saying it's got more potential. It has got more potential, and because it's with Bitcoin. So both are great. I love them both. So thanks for your feedback, Casey. Appreciate that. But the one thing I do want to say about Casey is it's like anything, right? He always turns up, right? And you got to be there. You got to turn up, right? Even though you don't feel like turning up, it's all those times that you turn up that you don't want to turn up, and you add all those times together, and then it makes a big difference in the long run. And then that's one thing I noticed, right? And you got to turn up, and I'm talking about making your videos every day, doing your posts, connecting with people, creating relationships, getting on Skype, doing these hangouts, right? And what I found is it's always the 80-20 rule, right? So I invite anyone that's in our team, especially, to come on board and to get on these, because it's going to change you in your mindset. It's going to change you because you're going to become like the 20%, like us. That's always consistent, and it's always the 80-20, right? So what I'm trying to say is everyone that wants to get to the next level, right? You have to put in the effort. You have to make the commitment and come on these webinars, connect with these people. And I know I'm going to go to Singapore, and I'm going to take, flight to Singapore, price of a couple of nights, myself and my girlfriend, and we're going to spend a bit of money. Yeah, okay. But when I'm going to get back, I'm going to meet the top leaders. I'm going to shake their hand. I'm going to look them in the eye, and I'm going to meet the owners. And what I'm going to get from that experience is going to be massive. It's going to be it's going to be life shifting. So that's what I encourage every single one of you that are in your programs or in MPA is to just treat it seriously. It's like, you go to your job every day, right? And your boss tells you to, clock in, clock on. You take him seriously or her seriously, all right? But then when it comes to online business and doing stuff that you got to do, you don't take it seriously, right? So until you take it seriously, that's when you're going to get the results, right? So you make the commitment to take the actions that you need to do to get the results. So it's all there for you guys. It's all there. So and it's I want to say it's going to massively change your life. You're just going to go to a different level, and it's awesome. And it's absolutely awesome. So guys, for you that are watching this webinar, obviously someone showed you this link, right? And if you want some more information, get back to them, because they want to share you the opportunity, right? This is all accessible to everyone. If you want to do it, right? We're here to help. Join our dream team. You're gonna get 3 bonuses. You're gonna be able to connect with all these wonderful, awesome people like Ralph, Logan, Dennis from Japan, aka Grandpa, and Casey. And you can even come on our webinars if you want. If you want, you don't have to. So, with that said, I want to close it with some closing thoughts to first of all, Ralph. And mate, if you want any closing thoughts or anything you want to say in particular, away to you, mate.
Yes, also just coming to my mind is actually when you start online business and you think you don't have a boss anymore, you're totally wrong. You have the worst boss ever because you're your own boss, So actually, I have to ask my boss if I can go to vacation, So, and sometimes he say, "Did you do your job? Did you do your duties? Oh no, okay, no vacation. So what I want to say in a just a funny way is you have to keep the same discipline as you had before. Yeah, so don't say, okay, there's no boss, I can spend 2 more hours in bed or whatever, or go to the beach and do everything else, and I can do later. No, you have to go to the same step. If you are asking, if you have still having a boss, if you have to ask a boss, so you have to ask yourself, and every time you have to be honest to yourself. Okay, I have to do my duties, I have to be disciplined, I have to go on. And sometimes it's more painful than to have a boss who maybe is a little bit smarter or a little bit nicer to you, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, Ralph. And it does come down to discipline. It absolutely does. And once you do it, you grind it out, and you start seeing results. And it's just like doing the same thing every day. Like it's just like going to work, right? But you know, you find creative ways of doing it, and how to spread content, and how to talk about, just like our webinars, right? We're basically talking about the same thing, but then, you know, we put a different flavor and a spin on it, right? To keep, so then we can touch on different demographics and different experiences, and that's what we're trying to do. So, but you're absolutely right, Ralph. Once you get to the point where, you know, you can literally like just do what you want, like, you know, you wake up and go, well, let's go for a trip to Philippines or Bali or Singapore, whatever, and you don't have to worry about like whether you can afford it. I mean, that is so empowering. That is so empowering. You're like, the money's in the bank. Let's just go do it, right? That you become a person of action. You're just like, yeah, let's do it. Do this. You don't worry about it making excuses. And so it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, sometimes I get emotional, carry on about this stuff, but honestly, I want everyone to experience it. So it's so freaking awesome. So thanks, Ralph. Keep doing your thing down in Thailand, and hopefully we'll catch up soon. If you're not in Singapore, that's all good. We'll catch up with you soon. So thanks for jumping on, Ralph. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Logan, any closing thoughts? I mean, obviously, I'm going to see you in Singapore with your new suit, or half suit, but
well, you'll have a new suit. I think I'll put something sportier together. Well, yeah, I'll continue in the same vein. If we're going to liken this to a job, I was thinking, you know, like when I first saw you, one thing that I wasn't, you know, I was fresh and I was excited, and I was like, oh, shiny object, you know, new thing, you know, let me be in 10 different things. Is focus, you know, like you kind of, when you spread your energy around, it just falls apart. So comparing to a regular job, like normally you have one job, maybe you have one side job, or people who do 3 different jobs, usually they're kind of jobs that, you know, don't really involve too much thinking or whatever. They're kind of, you know, dumb jobs, as you call them, whatever, mindless. So usually if you have 3 jobs, you're kind of tired and you become useless in all of them, you know. And it's similar here also. If you do too many things, now we say, okay, yes, you should, you know, be spread out a little bit. It's not the same as the job, but, you know, being in 10 things and being in every new thing that shows up, that doesn't work. It's fine if you're in 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many you can handle. You have to figure that out. But to really, like, when you have a good one like this, then you really need like 1 or 2 good ones, and maybe a couple of small ones that don't take too much of your energy or effort. That's about the balance that I kind of figured out that works. So I would say focus as much as you can. You know, focus is follow one course until successful. That's what, you know, the acronym of focus can mean. So that I've learned, you know, and you kept saying this from the beginning that I saw you, and I wish I just followed your advice. I didn't, but I did learn a lot, and here I am. Now I've learned it. You know, sometimes you have to go through the process, but definitely focus.
Yeah, thanks, Logan. Yeah, absolutely. Like, we're not saying like don't diversify. Obviously, that is a must. Like, you know, definitely diversify into other things. But first of all, like, you know, if you're going to try to build 5 businesses, I'm like, you haven't even built one yet. How are you going to build 5, right? So build one first. Get it going to, you know, where it's paying you $100 a day, $200 a day, whatever, right? Consistently, like, you know, MPA or MPCA. Then go into the next. But don't try to do 5 all, don't half-ass 5. It's not going to work, right? So that's all. Diversify, but do it once you build the one. Awesome. Thanks, Logan. Thanks for jumping on board as you normally do every day, and always chiming in when I lose my mic. But we're going to probably talk before Singapore anyway, so it's all good. Thanks, Logan, for jumping on.
Your mic. Better to lose your mic than your mind, So that's all good.
Yeah. No, you always know when I'm just like doing weird signs at you. I've cut out. But thanks, Logan, and I'll definitely talk to you before Singapore, mate. Thank you for jumping on tonight. Dennis, Mr. Consistency as well, always jumping on. You don't have to every time, but you turn up most of the time, which is what is important. Any closing thoughts at all, Grandpa?
Well, yeah, like most of us have a family, and the only way I diversify is, I grow those organic vegetables. So if anything went to crap, I just walk out to my field and eat, But like when we stay consistent, then our family members start to notice it, right? So then they start to gain less worry, more respect for us. They support us more. Like when Monday comes around, my wife says, "Hey, don't space out. You're gonna, go do a webinar tonight, right?" So she's like reminding me, you're gonna have this activity that supports your business, or you contribute something to support the overall effect that's going on here. Then that leads to respect for NG. So if I say NG, she goes, "Oh yeah." She got a smile on her face. She has respect for NG. If I say Mr. Uday Nada, she has a smile on her face. She has respect for that. If I say Logan, Casey, Ralph, she smiles, right? So she respects the circle that I'm in, right? And I think overall, that really helps the program. If you look at it in a big picture type of way, right? Family members respecting what we do and respecting who we do it with, all right? So, my final thought is, I'm just glad that I'm sticking with one thing, placing myself among, really nice people like you, right? Giving support, receiving support, and really happy that the family members recognize that, right? And both my boys joined MPCA recently.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ralph. Dennis. I'm looking at Ralph. I appreciate that. He's like, yeah, it's like Dennis from. Thank you, Grandpa. Appreciate it. I should just call you Grandpa from now on. Don't worry about calling you Ralph or Dennis. Just gonna call you Grandpa. It sticks. I type that in when I go to the search bar. It's crazy. I'm like, what am I doing? It's absolutely. Once you do something consistently, you become known as a guy. I want to be known as the guy that, have a think about what you want to be known as online, right? I want to be known as the guy that goes into program, MPA, MPCA, and I max things out, right? That's what I want to be. Once you get known and you have a good reputation, right, for whatever that is, people start seeking you. You don't start seeking them. Admins of programs start seeking you. You don't have to seek anyone, right? Because they come to you, right? And this is all part of building a brand and getting a reputation for someone that gets things done, right? That's what you want to do. Build your reputation on goodwill and honesty, right? It's very important because you won't last long in this game if you're not honest, trustworthy, and that's pretty much what I wanted to say there. So Casey, what are your closing thoughts? How's your Coke shirt going, or what do you got going on down there, mate?
I'm going to do closing thoughts a little different than everybody else. I've been monitoring the whole YouTube live chat, and one of the things I think we should probably try to do is we're getting comments, and let me scroll back up.
Okay, go through some of the comments, and we could probably answer them.
Mark Vance said that maybe we should talk about not withdrawing to Coinbase.
Okay.
So I didn't know if we wanted to do, like, get people to leave some comments about topics we should talk about and hit them in upcoming webinars, because I know the whole not withdrawing to Coinbase and the reasons why, that could be like a whole 3-hour webinar within itself, maybe 5 hours. So I think it would be a good topic for next week.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually a good thing, because if you want to leave comments about what we want to talk about, that gives us feedback, because we want to talk about what's happening and what people want to talk about. So obviously, yeah, Coinbase, I would avoid that because of, you know, but we'll do a webinar on it, okay? They're just not in their terms and conditions. They're not friendly about, you know, high risk, what they deem as high, what they deem, you know, it's all they, you're right. So maybe we can do a webinar on that. So thanks for that question, Mark. Is there anything else that they're talking about, Casey?
Yeah, Promise is in Nigeria. Just real quick, for Promise or anybody else watching, right below the video, there is a link that says sign up to get your free account here. If you'll click that, it will take you to My Paying Crypto Ads, and you can sign up there. It will shove you under one of us that's on the webinar, and to get your 3 bonuses, all you have to do is become a paid member. So buy 1 ad pack. Once you buy 1 ad pack, it will let us know that you're serious about it, and we will add you to the My Paying Crypto Ads Dream Team group. And then that will get you in, and you'll be able to see all the bonuses that NG's created for us. So I hope that helps Promise and everyone else that's watching. And Kenneth said, thank you, NG.
Thanks, Kenneth. I know Kenneth. Thank you.
So, and that's it. There's a lot of people just saying hi and hello. So I'm excited to read all the live comments.
Yeah, awesome. Maybe you could reply to some of those for us, Casey.
Yep.
You know, we can't pay you. I'm sorry, but you know. But thanks for the great work. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's great, because, you know, we're learning now. Like, we just learned right then that people want to know about stuff, and then we can talk and give some value, right? So that experience there, it's been great. So thanks, everyone. Get back to obviously, if you click the link below, like what Casey just said, you're going to go to one of the people in this Hangout or previous Hangout participants. That's why we encourage you guys, and this is just totally to help those people that put themselves out there, that get out of the box, right, and get out of their comfort zone. Previous attendants that are in MPCA group are going to, you know, hit one of those. Just join up under any one of those people. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be me. It could be any one of these people. It could be Grandpa. It could be Logan. It could be Ralph, or any previous Casey, right? We're all here to learn and to move forward in this business, right? What I learned when I max this out in a couple of months or a month, I'm trying to just give you guys as much information, so then, you know, you're coming through that journey, you're going to know about the things that I've, you know, sort of figured out to help you get there faster. Sorry, Casey?
Can I hop in real quick?
Yeah.
Keithy Broom wants to know who's going to Singapore. And I figured if Keithy wants to know, we should let Keithy know.
We already let him know, right? Both you and I, Gavin, right?
Yeah.
He knows about the tour.
Yeah, he knows. Hey, Keithy. Cool. Well, maybe if you could just reply to that. Yeah. Okay. Cool, guys. That's it. We're just gonna. We've gone past the hour. So again, thanks. Hit the link to someone in this webinar. Not only going to get the bonuses, you're going to jump on you can come on these webinars, but you're going to get so much value, ridiculous value, that you're going to get through just by joining our team. Like, it's insane, right? And just that value alone is going to help you get to the next level, right? You get to mix with Logan, you get to mix with Grandpa, Ralph, Casey, and remember last week, guys, we had Lou and Lou Toya. And they came on a couple of weeks ago. They came on and they're like, "Hey, we're hanging out with NG Gavin and Grandpa and Logan and all these people that they knew." You know, that's what you get to do on a weekly basis if you want to. So that's it, guys. Thanks everyone for jumping on the webinar. Ralph, Logan, Grandpa, and Casey. And get back to the person that showed you this link. That's webinar 14, done and dusted. You guys have an awesome week, and we'll see you. If you have questions, let's leave questions on the YouTube channel, and then we'll try to make those questions into webinars next time. So tune in next time. Thanks everyone, guys. We'll see you in the next webinar. Good night, guys.
Take care. Bye.